Hey everybody, this is Jason doing a care package video that I received from none other than Mike Hitman23. He sent me a nice little note along with this mega bomb of cards for my collection. And shockingly, I already kind of went through it earlier because it came right after Thanksgiving. So I'm very thankful to you, Mike, as well as to the community at large, because this year has been amazing for me and my collection. So I just kind of want to put that out there. Now, this video probably actually won't go up for a little bit of time, but so it might feel a little bit ill-placed. But I am very thankful for the community and for what you all have done for my collection, for me, just the friendships and just hanging out. I mean, we have that get-together coming up here in a couple weeks with me, Raphael, and Bob, and anybody else that might show up. So it's been amazing. So I'm just really, really grateful for the community. And with that being said, I'm going to get into the cards, try to make it somewhat quick. I did want to just quickly show that I did get this in the mail from a YouTuber friend of mine. Had a friend of his on Facebook said he didn't want this card. Do I want it? Because it was creased, as you see. So he reached out to me and was like, hey man, you can just have it. So this is of Tsuyoshi Wada. It's numbered 13 out of 15. You see that. And you see the big crease like he got his head chopped off. But it's on-card autograph. So again, that just goes to show this community is amazing. And that somebody took the time to say, hey, I know a guy who'll probably take that card from you. And he reached out to me, sent me a text like, hey, do you want it? And I was like, okay, sure. I didn't do anything. I didn't know anything about this guy. This card, it was so cool. And with that being said, Chasin Inc., he did a giveaway on his channel, and I didn't win, but he sent me a card anyways. He sent me this Cincinnati Red Kurt, is it Stillwell? Yeah, I think Stillwell, autograph card for my collection, because as you all know, I'm a Reds collector. It's my team, aside from Japanese baseball players. And he sent this to me. I did not even, it was unsolicited. I just thought I lost, which is fine. It's part of it. And he sent me that. So I just want to kind of throw those out there to say thank you. Now let me get into what Mike sent me, because it's going to be a little bit of a undertaking. So Mike, like me, is a Don Mattingly collector. So I'm sure finding cards that he wanted to part with might be a little bit difficult for Mike. I really appreciate the fact that he decided to send some cards my way, because I can say I didn't have quite a few of these cards, I believe. But he also hooked me up with some other stuff as well, which we'll get to in a moment. So we'll do the quick Hitman Donnie Baseball. That's the Fleer Ultra 93. Then we got the 87 Don Riss. I think these are the highlights. We got that one. We got this one. And then we have this one right here with his sweet swing that he does. Then we got this here. I love this card. I think this is like a 1960s style card. We got that. This is the Topps Gallery. And then we have this one here, which I didn't have. I'm almost positive I don't have this one from, Fleer Greats of the Game, or Rookies, at least Rookies and Stars. And then I have this Pinnacle. I think this is 95 Pinnacle. Is it 95? 94, sorry. And then the Flair. This card, I just love the way that this card looks. And then I do not have this SP Upper Deck. So that's cool. Then we got the teammates of Roberto Kelly and Don Mattingly. So look at them, they're all smiles. We got the postcard. Now I think I do have this one, but the cool thing is I don't have it in as good of condition. So as I've told people before, and I think some of us, I actually heard Nate on his channel say this not too long ago, is that when people send me cards, yeah, I might already have these cards, but I might have had them since I was a kid. I've had them for 25, 30 years maybe sometimes longer. And so they're not in the best shape. So if I give friends, fans, as Raphael would say, that say, hey, I don't want these cards, I don't need them, I don't want them, this guy will appreciate them more in his collection. And if I get them and if I have them, but I can upgrade the card, that's amazing. And I know Nate was just talking about how he was trying to upgrade one of his cards because it was some Xavier had sent him Snoop. And then as he was pulling out one of the cards because it was going to be upgradable, there was a card he didn't even realize he had behind that card. Like he must have accidentally sleeved a card behind another card, so he had 3 cards in one pocket of the binder, and then he didn't even know that card existed. So he was like, oh. So it was like a win-win. So he had a new card that he didn't even realize he had. That's my last Don Manley card there, guys. I am a little bit under the weather. I have a cold, so I'm sorry. I kind of held off on doing the video till Sunday because when I got the package on Friday, I was still like, I feel like a lot worse. I was having a hard time. My voice was cracking. I was going through puberty. So it was a little bit more difficult, I guess. And so I just didn't want you all to hear that. I didn't want to hear it. So Sunday now, my voice feels like it's coming back a little bit. So I'm decided to bust out the video. So we have Shigetose Hasegawa, who was a great pitcher for the Anaheim Angels. He doesn't get a lot of respect for some reason, but he was lights out when he played. He only had played for maybe 6 years, maybe, or so. He went to Seattle Mariners, in the late 90s, early aughts. It seemed like every baseball player was playing for a while in Seattle that was Japanese. You had Ichiro, you had Hasegawa, you had Yojima, you had Sasaki. So it seemed like everybody went through there. Max Suzuki. So you had a lot of guys. Oh, here we're just talking about Sasaki. Here's Sasaki. He was another just absolutely lights out saves. So here's, and it's really cool that Mike had these just laying around and thought about me. He actually reached out to me on Facebook because we're friends on Facebook. It's Facebook official. And he said, hey man, what's your address? And again, it's so funny because this kind of stuff happens and we all do it. I've done it to other people. You send out they say, hey man, what's your address? So you give them the address. I don't think any more about it. It's a one-time thing. Here's my address. A week later, 2 weeks later, a month later, whatever, a package shows up and you're like, what? And then I'm thinking, how did he even get my address? And I go back and look and there it is. Hey Jason, what's your address? Kenta Maeda. So just awesome. And the other thing that's cool about these modern day cards for me is that I just don't open a lot of this product. As probably most of you all know who've come to my channel. So when I get any modern day baseball cards, probably from 2010, 11 into now, and obviously before, because they do short prints and variations, and there's 15,000 different Topps products and Bowman products and Panini products and Donruss products now, that I just don't break them. So when people send me this stuff, it's awesome because I might break 1 or 2 boxes of modern day stuff a year, and I'm talking about hobby boxes. The rest of it might be the packs or retail boxes. That's it. So as we all know, there's not a lot to get, Japanese baseball player wise in those boxes. So I am super grateful for people like Mike who say, I don't collect Japanese baseball players. Jason does. I'll just give them to him. And I'm going to send, I got a care package ready to send him as well. He was like, of course, like we all would say, oh, no, I don't need anything, man. It's fine. Tanaka, as I'm showing off some Tanaka cards. And again, he was like, I don't want anything. And I'm like, well, of course you don't want anything, but at least I can say thank you. And I actually have a handful of stuff I think he'll like. At least I hope he will. And he's helping me actually get rid of my Redskins cards because I'm not a football collector whatsoever. But I bought a couple collections in the last year that had some football and basketball in it. So I've been trying to get rid of those football cards. And he's the only guy I know who's a Redskins fan. So he's getting ready to get a Redskin bomb sent to him. Kuroda. Hiroki Kuroda. Then we got we got Hukadome. That's a cool looking card. Then he even got me some Ichiro, and I know Ichiro's a harder one to want to let go because it's Ichiro. And I don't blame him. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's one of the few Japanese baseball players who, as I'm not telling about anything they don't know, who actually was good the entire part of his career. He never really wasn't good and will be a Hall of Famer because of what he did on the field. And then we got Iwakuma, who again plays for Seattle Mariners. Or if he did, I don't know. I think he's still there. Yep, he's still there. At least by By this card, he is still there. I appreciate you all sticking around and watching the video. I am trying. It might not feel like it, but I am going somewhat pretty quickly as the cards spin out of control here. Let me try to get these back. There we go. We got Darvish, who didn't do much this year. Hopefully next season, 2019 season, he'll come back and be dominant, because he was pretty dominant aside from the World Series back in 2017. He was pretty dominant. So we'll see if he can come back and be dominant for the Cubs. I would like for that to happen because I'm a big Darvish fan. I kind of got on the Darvish bandwagon. I'm sure like quite a few of you guys, I bought into the hype because I saw him play in Japan when I lived there, so I knew he was the real deal. But as I've talked before on my channel, if you all watch my channel, you all know, and again, this might not be like news to some of you, the Japanese baseball players that are pitchers, when they come over here, their arms are pretty much already exhausted and busted. They've been throwing since they were like grade school age, hundreds and hundreds of pitches. There's no such thing as pitch counts in Japan. Here's Junichi Tazawa. So these guys' arms are just like jelly by the time they get here. Case in point, Darvish this past year, Ohtani, he had to have Tommy John surgery because the arms are just, they're just worked to the bone. Because in Japan, it's all about winning. It's all about winning. They don't care about the health of the player, the physical conditioning. They care about the wins. And if you're a pitcher and you're supposed to pitch 150 pitches a game, you're going to pitch 150 pitches a game, 200 pitches a game. They don't really care about if your arm's tired or if you're going to hurt your arm or you're going to throw your arm out. And they've been like that since high school. I mean, these poor kids have been pitching, throwing the baseballs nonstop since they're like, I'm sure, like 8 years old, 9 years old. And you just do that times 10 years when they're 19. And you put another 3 or 4 years, or 22, 23, 24. And they're coming over here. Where in America, they're like freaked out if you're like in my son's level, he does travel baseball. They're like wanting to pull kids out at like 45 to 60 pitches roughly. Because they don't want the kids' arms to be too exhausted and ruin the poor kids' arms. So, it's a completely different mentality here where you would rarely see a kid, even the high school level, probably throw 100 pitches in a game unless, they're flirting with a record of some sort possibly. But in Japan, throwing 100 pitches, that's just like child's play. They're doing that like nonstop. So it's just a different mentality. Last card I got was from him was a Takashi Saito jersey relic card from an All-Star game, 2007. I did not own this card. Right here is the actual relic card. It says it's containing an authentic event-worn piece of his 2007 MLB All-Star festivities jersey. So it is authentic, has been used, so they say. So that was my mail day care package from Mike Hitman23. I am very grateful for you, Mike. Thank you so much, man. You're one of those guys out there that just always makes me laugh. We have the same sense of humor, which makes life a lot easier when we're chit-chatting. He always pops in on my live videos, I believe, whenever he can, and hangs out with us for a few minutes, which is cool. But anyways, if you haven't checked out Mike Hitman23, well, I'd be shocked if you haven't. Please go check him out. You will not be disappointed. Other than that, man, thanks for watching. Take care, everybody. It's peace, love, and hair grease, and I'm out.